Red hole in my eyeball? Fucking stuck a wire in it, and you don't talk about something that fucking hurts. Welcome, Madnessode 12. We told you we're going to do it. It's official. We're doing it. So today we're going to talk about gear. You know, like we said, you know, what we use, how we use it. I guess we can start off with me. So I guess we'll start with guitar. Schecters, primarily. This is the C1 Hellraiser with the Floyd Rose. The EMG Active 81, 85s. You know, three-way switch, 2-volume, tone. It's got a headstock, some pegs, metal strings. This is the Weeping Demon wah, so you have, you know, your automatic on, you know, all of your sound settings. But ultimately everything's going to get to the Triaxis, and out of the Triaxis into the TC Electronics G Major. This is the effects unit. You know, all the effects that we have decided to use, and then it comes out the TC Electronics stereo to the stereo input of the Simulclass Mesa 290 power amp. And out of that into the Mesa rectified cabinets, which right now you can't see because they're being sound isolated. But then we have the FCB 1010 MIDI foot controller by Behringer. This is what communicates via MIDI all of this stuff. You know, so with the press of one foot switch, you can change, you know, up to 5 different parameters. Right now I'm just using 2, but you know, all this stuff, you know, you just configure and set up, so you can just, you know, step on one foot switch and change everything. You know, you can go from completely dry, completely clean, nothing on it, to overdriven distortion with reverb, chorus, delay, tap your foot again, turn the chorus off. I mean, it can get pretty complicated what you can do.
Okay, so welcome to the bass part of this episode. And speaking of basses, right here we have my main bass, which is a Ibanez SR506, and I pretty much love it. I play it most all the time. I also have a Ergodyne 5-string and a fretless 4-string, which is Ibanez as well, which I'm playing on the new album on 3 songs. And then I also have a 4-string Washburn, which was one of my first basses that I'll probably never get rid of. We go into my compressor first, and then out of the compressor into this EQ, which I'm getting ready to replace this EQ with this nice Furman 30-band EQ that my friend Danny hooked me up with. This is a mono EQ, and this is a stereo EQ. I only need mono, so I can take this out and put this in and use that one on something else. We come out of that and we go into this BBE. BBE just kind of puts everything together and sends it out to the speakers, just like you want it. And then down to my MPEG SVT4 plug, which is 1600 watts of pure goodness. And then this is where I get my main sound, and then I alter the EQ with the external EQ. Then we come out of the effects loop for this one into this bass V-Amp Pro, which is a preamp as well, but I only use the effects in it. And that's getting ready to go bye-bye as well. I'm going to replace that with a Digitech Studio. I can't remember the number, but it's a single space rack and it is effects only. And then tuner out of the SVT to my tuner, and that's about all she wrote. And then controlling everything, I also have a FCB 1010 MIDI foot controller, which changes all my presets and all my settings whenever I need it. And also in the chain I have a Big Muff fuzz pedal. Sometimes I use that just when you kind of want to get down and dirty. And then also down here I have the Roland PK5 bass pedals, which I'm currently using keyboards for the sound source, which I hopefully am going to get a rack mounted sound source for it and have it all in my rack instead of having to have a keyboard with us. Then everything goes out to this guy right here, which is my lovely Ampeg 810 speaker goodness. If anybody has a couple of these laying around that they'd like to send me, email me, hook me up, because I need at least 2 more. One is great, 2 more is better. Hook me up, somebody. That's about it. It's a pretty simple setup. Got room for expansion, which probably will do in the future. Thanks.
Welcome to the world of chrome, wood, and bronze. I'll be your guide. We've got a mini China, crash, ride, China, 2 crashes up front, 2 splashes, inverted splash that kind of give me like a white noise kind of sound, 2 pairs of hi-hats. I've got a ride on my right, China, China, another crash cymbal. With the drums, we've got mini timbalitos over the top of the hi-hat. I have them tuned really high to where I can go down. I have a 10-inch tom over here. I tune it like a timbali, and it's actually higher than my 8-inch, so it kind of bridges the gap between the timbalitos and the toms. So I have 8, 10, 12 up front. I have 13 and 15 on the left. I have 14, 16, and 18 on the right. My primary snare is a 7x13 Oak Musashi snare drum. I really enjoy this snare drum. Secondary snare drum is Elizabeth's 5x14 Poplar Pearl wood chip. I have 2 kicks up front, 2 22s by 18, and I also have a 24 by 18 kick drum over here. And it's tuned differently, and I play it with a modified double pedal. We'll also run a trigger on this bass drum that goes to my electronics. I have 2 foot triggers over here. They're Roland SD8s. They work excellently. And over here you have the brain to my electronics, which is the Roland SPDS sampling pad. I can run the 9 pads that you see here, as well as all these external triggers. Everything, with the exception of the kick drums, are attached to the rack, and all memory locked really nice. I've got everything marked and numbered to where we can set it up in about 15 minutes. About 15 minutes by myself, about 7 minutes if I've got some help. And yeah, it's marked on the rod and my throne. Really the comfortable throne.
Okay, so that's it for this episode. One quick note. As we said earlier, we are in the middle of recording the new album, which is entitled Guilty as Sin, which you know, we talk about all the time. But here's kind of like some art stuff that we did. This is our checkoff board here. We're currently in the middle of guitars. So Mike's got a couple more songs to do, and we're bringing in a special guest musician next week to work on some parts. And so things are going smoothly, and we look forward to getting it out to you guys. And anything else, Mike?
Thanks for watching. Check back. We're going to have some more cool stuff for you. So keep an eye out. Red hole in my eyeball.